Hi, this is Jessica Krauser of The Secret Life of Parkinson's. I typically don't go live. I think Brian and I have done this one time before. But I really wanted to share what it's like to have bad days because I feel like when every episode that you've seen Brian and I do, I feel like we're always at our best. And, we're comfortable now with the podcast. So um, we have a lot more like our symptoms just don't overreact anymore because we're comfortable with what we're doing. I get a lot of questions from people here and on the podcast itself is, you don't look like you have Parkinson's. And, while a lot of times my medication masks my symptoms, I have like more tension more than I have tremors. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about was the bad days that we have. And again, like not everybody sees those. And yesterday, I would say it wasn't a horrible day, but it was one of those rough days. Um, and it was more cognitive than anything. So I think talking about those bad days and knowing, like, again, a bad day doesn't always mean it's, um, it's physical, but the cognitive pieces as well can be just as trying. And what I was feeling or going through was it's like really hard to explain. But for those of you who've felt it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it's like not having the ability to think through problems. It's probably more with like the executive function of things, and this is actually the reason why I did go part-time at my job a couple years ago, because I felt like for all the things I was trying to do, I couldn't wrap my arms around some days, like ideas or conversations or projects that I was working on. I'm like, I can't, like, even like right now, like it's almost like I can't formulate a coherent sentence. and um and it's just like really weird. And so it just like put me in a complete funk because I actually have a lot going on this coming weekend as our the nonprofit that I have, the 5K for JK. We have our big fundraiser this weekend. And so things are pretty much under control. So I didn't think that I was stressed by any means, but I don't know if it's just like the overwhelming feeling, even though I don't feel overwhelmed, but I must be overwhelmed. But like literally yesterday I even took a nap. I was hoping that maybe if I just sleep it off, I'll get back to myself. But yeah, it's like, I don't know if it's brain fog or whatever, but it sucks. And it's one of those things that people don't see. Some people might notice, they're like, why are you're like quiet today? Or, you haven't said much today. And it's like, one, because I don't feel like engaging in conversation when I'm in those moments. So if you know of anybody who's like that, sometimes it can last a day or 2 days or maybe even a week. But I just thought I'd share like how I managed through those, while, probably not perfect by any means. I let myself have those days or those times. And I, after like, I don't know, the morning, and I like literally couldn't do any work. I like felt just, I don't know, frozen or something. I was like, okay, screw it. I'm gonna go on a walk. And so I went walking, and then I ran a quick errand. I'd like just physically did things versus trying to mentally continue to focus on work or whatever. And I know not everybody has that opportunity to do things like this, to be able to take a step back. But that's where talking to your employer, if you are still working, or even just talking to your family and loved ones about, what it is you're experiencing, because it's just a day, or again, it might be a week, but just letting them know, like, I'm okay. It's just, this is how I'm going to handle it. And the way I handled it is, like I said, I went on a walk. I actually went out to lunch. I called Brian. I was like, I'm having one of those days. So he met me out for lunch. And then I came home and I took a nap until my kids came home from school. And then I, still went about the day, but I couldn't do anything that was like mentally challenging, I guess, if that makes sense. So talking to your employer, so if you do have days like that, can you take the day off, or can you, just work on or do something that's, a little less meaningful or not really that critical? Because taking critical knowledge and trying to make something of it when you're in those states is just, it's difficult. So I don't know. Like I said, I've never really went live before, but I thought I would try it because, um, again, there's a lot of things that people don't see when you're living with Parkinson's. And, not that I'm looking for, if any of my friends or family are watching this, I'm not looking for a pity party, like, oh my God, I didn't know that that was happening. It happens every once in a while. It's not that big of a deal, but it's like, as you're going through it, you're like, this sucks, and it's more, you wish, I'm sure there's, people that don't have Parkinson's would be like, oh yeah, I have off days. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of like how it is, but you can't kick it. Like I said, I even tried taking a nap, but like I couldn't get rid of it. So it's not like, oh, I don't want to do work, or, oh, I dread doing this. It's like, no, I like mentally can't. Like I really mentally cannot formulate an idea or anything. Like again, like right now, it's still kind of affecting me. It's like I can't formulate even like some sentences or just an overall thought, which is not good when you're still working. So I don't know. I don't know if anybody else ever felt that way. I don't know if anybody can even comment for those who are watching. It's like I said, I don't know how to do this, and my kids are at school, or else they would be helping me do this. So that's all. I think maybe this is a topic that we can do more on the podcast. We do have other episodes coming up. I'll be posting today one with Dr. Patel again, so you can expect to see that later this afternoon. And we're also going to be recording some about in the next month or two. We're going to be recording some episodes regarding balance and falls. We're also going to be talking about Parkinson's psychosis and people who've experienced that, or family members who've experienced watching their loved one go through things like that. So, definitely lots more to come. So please stay tuned in. But yeah, I just thought I'd share my not so great day from a cognitive standpoint. And again, if that's as bad as it gets right now, then that is what it is. Oh, hi, Liz. Yeah. So Elizabeth, you understand where I'm coming with this. You said you're just had this for 3 days. And yeah, like I said, before I was on carbidopa levodopa, and actually before I was on Zoloft, I would have a lot of days like that. And it was more, not even just cognitive, but it was just like, I didn't want to do anything. I was like, just, I don't know, like it's like having a bad day, but you're like, I physically don't feel like moving or doing anything. I don't want to cook. I don't want to clean. I don't want to, whatever. So sorry, Kendra, now I'm reading your response as well. It's a bad day, but it's a bad moment. I think that's a good way to explain it. Not necessarily a bad day, because maybe it doesn't, encompass everybody's whole day, like it did mine, but it's just a bad moment. And again, there's worse things I know that happen, but like I said, a lot of people always say like, oh, you don't look like you have Parkinson's. And again, it's not always visible for a lot of us. So this is me making it visible. Anyways, thank you guys all for listening. I think that's really all I have. I wanted to test this out as well, because Brian and I might try and go live at the 5K for JK event, which is going to be on Sunday in Powell, Ohio. We've already raised this year over $100,000, which is great, because we're trying to raise money to continue to build those kits that you guys have seen on the podcast. And all of the money is going towards the kits, towards exercise programs. And we're looking for some of it to help support the podcast, because, like I said, me, Steve, Melissa, and Brian, just, do this on our own. But so having the support from that would be great. So anyways, that's all I have. So I'm going to tune out for now. Thanks for listening. Hopefully, if anybody else is having a bad cognitive or an emotional day, hopefully you just feel like you are not alone, because you're not. We're all here for you too. Have a good day, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.